Hey everyone, you're listening to an episode of the Artist Corner featuring our Artist of the Month, Nick Brown, who is known online in the 1/6 scale kit bash world as Lizard Force. Nick is a photographer, and as a hobby, he creates 1/6 scale action figures with dinosaur heads, and it's incredible. The links to his website and social media are in the show notes below. We hope you enjoy this show, available on YouTube and YouTube Podcast. All right, here we go.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Artist of the Month. This month we have Nick Brown with us, who does some incredible creations, which you can see here in the video. So, Nick, go ahead and start us off by just telling us about yourself and telling us about your art.
Okay. So this is a project that I've had going for, I guess, the last 8 years. By trade, I'm a fashion photographer. As I got older, I wanted to rely less on other people to kind of make my projects. So I started to use models as opposed to models. So started to kind of play around with diorama, sort of to scale down the sets that I was using and stuff. And I guess that Lizard Force is the evolution of my work over the last couple of years, starting from kind of these kind of guys over here
I love it.
So cool.
to, well, I guess the end goal was always to kind of like make it move. So I kind of wanted to work towards kind of animatable puppets, but I had no way of really knowing how to get started. So I started playing around with kind of action men. I guess when I was younger, I had a few of these slightly better kind of like G.I. Joe types of dolls and started to experiment with them a bit more. And at a certain stage, I guess my dinosaur collection got reduced into this would be like post-op and a pre-op Lizard Force dinosaur.
I just want to say, as someone who has children who love dinosaurs, they just take the action figures to another level and are just so cool. I love them.
They're awesome. They're awesome. How did you come up with the whole thing as far as like dinosaurs on action figures? So using the dino heads in an action figure.
Well, I guess like originally I was super interested in camouflage in fashion, camouflage in kind of culture, like hip hop culture, skateboard culture. And I suppose I was kind of like thinking of a way that I could kind of put it into these puppets. And with my photography, it was very collagey. So I suppose this is my adventure into the 3D. The dinosaurs was me and my girlfriend had a large collection of dinosaurs. Like once a year there's an event called King's Day where like all families will have like a giant like garage sale, like a car boot sale. And for some reason over the first 4 years of being here I had like loads of dinosaurs because it'd just be like you go past these things and you just like I can't say no to them. And then and then the collection got too large, so I kept the cream, which is the head, and then at some stage it shifted over. But I think I'd already been making like these guys beforehand, but then
Right.
I needed them to like move a little bit more. Like I was kind of like walking them a bit like this and turning them. So I guess at some stage I realized that I needed like things that I could animate and things that would also kind of hold their position for stop frame animation. So, and then, I suppose like it changed throughout as I started to learn them. And like at the moment, I really like the technique that I've used to refine the heads has really changed. But like, I think at the moment, if I use like the kind of type 2 easy and simple body, like where this guy's come from, I take this plug piece out and I kind of basically, it makes it quite easy to insert this guy. And then there's like a recipe for how they're all like painted and stuff.
I love it. So when you start one of these figures and you utilize the head, when you get a dinosaur, are you inspired by like do you get the idea to do an action figure from the dinosaur or do you get the idea to do an action figure from the figure and then just put a dinosaur head on it?
Yeah, so I guess that like when I look at like my work, on lizardforce.com. I suppose I'm kind of trying to do like an encyclopedia of like the kind of camouflage that I'm interested in and the kind of units that I'm interested in. I'm really interested in kind of US Army like technology and camouflage. So my process for one of these figures would probably just to be to stick a load of podcasts on your podcast, things like the Danger Close podcast, all these other ones where you just hear all these like incredible stories of like these like war fighters, and then bits of the podcast will start to drift into it. It's kind of like this weird process. I mean, I think like maybe during the presidential election and like the January the 6th stuff, I was listening a lot to like the Tim Dillon podcast and all the other stuff, and then I guess the figures that I was making then, little parts of it started to drift in with the Trumps and stuff. But I mean,
For sure.
like predominantly it's my kind of passion for like camouflage and like the way that the way like the logistics of an army and trying to get that across like dinosaurs, like units and teams, and like this would be like Jurassic 5, which is kind of basically like
The Jurassic
love it.
5. That's such a great name.
I mean I don't know if you guys play video games at all, like Call of Duty and
Of course.
stuff. Okay, so the new Call of Duty game, the map Vondel, it's like walking outside my window. So it's just like, so we're playing that. So I've also been working on this one, which is roughly based on our Call of Duty DMZ setup.
Oh, it's amazing. That's so cool. So cool.
So I think at some stage I'm just going to put this outside in Amsterdam, so it just looks
love
like
it.
part of the map. But this is Vasco, Torben, and Matt, and they're my Call of Duty partner friends. So
It would be pretty neat to actually see those characters in Call of Duty with the dinosaur heads.
I'd love it. I mean, I guess as I've started to adapt, Call of Duty ends up being kind of like research for me, and I'm kind of playing the game and I'm getting bits. Like it was my birthday last week, and I got a little.
Happy birthday!
Thank you very much. And I got a little package from you guys, which was still the little. I think where was it? Oh yeah, it was one of these guys. Or like the little Call of Duty M13B, like Sig Spears and stuff. It's just like, I don't know, just love mixing it all up, having the same kind of loadout with my Call of Duty with my lizards and stuff, and then full on nerd
That's
out.
excellent. So do you do commissions, or do people ask you to build these for them, or is this just your kind of hobby?
Yeah, so I have done a few occasionally. Mainly I'm a fashion photographer. This is kind of my hobby. I'm really trying to work towards kind of making more of the moving stuff. I'm just really at the moment taking my time. Like on Instagram was okay, but it felt like it was too quick. This stuff's really slow, so I just really need to, I don't know, I can't really compete with people that can put content out really quick when it takes me kind of like a week to make a figure or something like that. So yeah, so I'm just exploring what I can do with it really.
So this is just your passion, your kind of fun. This is you time.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you say it takes about a week for a project for like one figure, the Jurassic 5. So that was like 5 weeks for you. Or do some take longer than others?
So I'd say that there's like that for it to be like Lizard Force, the end product would be kind of part of my artwork. So it'd be like 2D, like flat shot somewhere, so there'd be a location. So I guess that first of all I'd need to make the figure. Then I'd need to shoot it in a setting that works with the figure with the camouflage. So then the color palette of the figure hopefully would be in the location that I choose and stuff. So I guess that in making a figure, yeah, maybe like a week if I have to build 5 of them, but that then there'd also be like having to order all the parts or the logistics in between and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, so once you have everything, it takes like a week, but there's prep. And then, yeah, I mean, the locations that you choose for your photos, the actual, combination of the art are so cool. Very awesome.
Well, credit to my girlfriend, because basically what's happened is that I'm not much of like a sit on the beach kind of the guy. So like when she's kind of lazying around, I'm kind of trying to find like places to bring these guys up or whatever. So when
Yeah, man.
Credit to her lazing around.
So when I'm asked about like locations, you'll get like so the this year's holiday, I've got like a whole team of like basically the seals, which I really want to concentrate on coming out of the water. So as long as there's blue water for my guys to come out of, I've got like an inflatable like boat and stuff like that. So get them out, get them in there, get the GoPro underwater, try to do some more underwater shots and stuff. Occasionally she's tasked with having like to pull the boat or have like it tied to a tow on a piece of fishing line or something like that when I'm photographing it, so it doesn't float off into the abyss.
That's hilarious. So I do have a question. So when you build these figures, do you ever consider one of your figures done, or do you ever get inspired to add more parts to it or change it up?
Yeah, so at the moment, the way that I'm looking over there because these are more finished ones over there that I'm kind of. So in the end, I'm kind of hoping to have the like diorama, so it's portable in like flight cases which look military. But then when it gets to the location, the flight case also turns into the diorama. So kind of like with a lot of these, they're sort of like the sets. Like eventually, I see it as one kind of huge exhibition. So yeah, I don't know. I'm playing around with different things. Like I've got this doll's house over here. I'm gonna make like a roof on it, turn it into like kind of like Waco, and then have like a David Koresh on the top with a Barrett, and then have like the ATF coming in the windows and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, that'll be cool.
Wow, that's awesome. Real world scenarios in Dynamite.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
That's great.
So Nick, tell me, what are some of your like favorite tools or materials to work with? Like when you got to have tools to do some operations on your dinosaurs. What does that look like?
Yeah, well, so a lot of it looks like what's come from you guys. So you've been helping me along. I mean, like, it never clicked with me that when you're doing the mole vests, it's for ages it was like a puzzle. I was trying to do it with like a Leatherman wave, like it's just like I don't know, like a monkey constantly just hit it with a stick, or like Homer Simpson reaching for that cupcake. It never worked. And when I saw your little instruction video on this has made my life so much easier. So this is one of them. Like the glue dots as well. That's life changer. Other than that, with my dinosaurs, like everything I have, I like to custom so it doesn't end up like the same as what it is. That's like something. So I'll start with a part. I'll photograph it kind of before, because I'm going to end up breaking it at some stage. It's also fiddly.
Right.
And then it's more like what I make out of the broken stuff.
Did you originally? So tell me about chopping off the head of a dinosaur, and what do you do with the leftover parts, the dino parts?
Okay, the offal, this bit, which the leftover parts. Actually, I guess for some people it'd be the bits they're interested in, like the head sculpts and stuff like that. But they're the bits that I just kind of whatever. I hack the heads off, and so the hats fit better on my dinosaurs. That's about it. This bit here, these actually get turned into a horn. This piece here, this is a perfect for my tricolor Triceratops. I can bring one of those guys in.
Smart.
Do you want to have a look at one of them, or?
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, let's see it.
So this is the recycling. So different, but that'll end up being like a Tyrannosaurus's tail, and then they'll become these guys.
Oh, I love
it.
Wow.
But the main piece that I'm interested in is just the head.
Yeah.
So this guy.
That's so cool.
That's so awesome.
And so you put the neck insert in the bottom of it, so it clips onto the body.
Yeah, well, actually, this is an older one. I have been doing. What I've noticed recently is that with the new Type 2 Easy and Simple ones, the neck sticks out a lot higher.
Yep.
So, and I really like how kind of proud it is. This is one of these guys here. And I just love the way that this guy here, for me, this is super flexible to animate, and it's just, I'm really looking forward to getting this into the stock frame. Onto a stock frame set and playing around with this. So I guess that like all the little bits of these diorama, the more intricate it becomes and the more details they add, the more exciting it becomes for me as something to animate with kind of like the gun and trying to make things, anything that can move.
So your videos are stop motion?
At the moment with Instagram, parts of my content are stop motion, although like the material that I'm gathering and I'm making for me, it's predominantly stop motion. My process will be make the figure and then kind of capture it before the parts that I've got are destroyed. And then once I've got it once, then I can start to paint into the guns because I've kind of already got like an image of it or something, or like a print of it. And then I want to kind of remake it and recycle it. That's what I have been doing. So with some of my lizards, they could have been used like 6 times over, and like I could change them and to make the faces look like a different character. Like this Shrek head from a Shrek dinosaur. I've used this over and over, and I'm kind of adding bits of beard to it, sticking bits on it, and changing them around. And
I love it. Love it. Super, super creative. When you go to like a mall or something like that, and you go to a store, do you go to the dinosaur section in the toy department and look for stuff to get?
are you kidding me? It's like when we're on holiday anywhere with my girlfriend, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, like this is pretty obsessive stuff. This, I mean, like,
Yeah, man.
like for me in the Netherlands, the actual hunt is half the chase because it's not that easy to get. Because for you guys, you've got all the US stuff and it's all there, and like, but for us, like, it's not really that common, so you kind of have to hunt it out, and then like you end up with some weird places. Like there's a lot of like Nazi puppets out there. You end up there, like when I got a Bradley, I ended up in a room full of just Nazi puppets, and when it's like, it's quite confronting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the hunt is half the battle, and I think that no, like whenever I go to a mall or go to a store, my first thing is wife's gonna go shop for groceries, and I immediately go to the toy section, and that's just the way it is, no matter where we go.
Yeah,
But that's totally gives you food for thought, and it gives you creative pieces you can use that maybe you hadn't seen before.
absolutely.
I think though when you have a hobby like this, like that is part of the journey. It's part of the fun. It's part of the inspiration because the hunt, finding different pieces that you maybe weren't looking for in the first place are great and can be so inspirational.
Absolutely. And also with these objects, you kind of start to hear the stories about them and the history of them, and it starts to kind of like, I don't know, it all comes together. So for me, it's kind of like an exploring journey. So like as I'm making one of the dioramas, at the same time I'm listening to it and I'm absorbing as much about it as I can. Listening to like forgotten weapons, about all the different bits of guns and stuff on here, and trying to apply it to this one piece.
For sure. For stuff, so your stuff is very niche, and you have quite an audience right now. Do you see your audience growing exponentially?
Well, yeah, I mean, like the last year or so, I kind of just stepped back from it a little bit, just because I had to kind of like work and do other stuff, and kind of I didn't really have as much energy for it as like maybe I had before. So I kind of just did it more for me, and now I feel like I've got a big bunch of stuff. Whereas before it felt like I was trying to force stuff to make a post, and it didn't feel as special. Now I'm like,
Right.
I've got some like really good stuff. And I think I'm just waiting for something to do with it that's not as disposable as Instagram. Although Instagram was like really good for it, reaching a much bigger audience at one time. I think it's kind of like, yeah. I think I'd say it maybe more on like YouTube or something at some stage. So let's see.
So I see a lot of your stuff is dino heads. Do you use any other type of heads that you've been inspired by?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. Do you mind? Can
Of
I
course.
show you?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Oh, it's awesome.
So Lizard Force needs an adversary. So this is Commie
Yeah.
Bears.
Oh
This
my
is like a
god.
spin-off. So this is a Storm Z battalion of Commie Bears in a trench.
I love it.
I
That
just
is
need some.
Love it.
so bad.
I just need some Barbie washing machines and stuff to finish it off, and then
Yeah,
I've
man.
got it.
That's great.
So I've been working with these bear heads. I've also got a Chicon Panda that I'm working on as well. So
Oh, I love it.
I
Love
want
the
all these
panda stuff.
different spin-offs and to kind of fight and be friends with and kind of have little bits and stuff. So I think that's the next area to work on. The other
That's
heads.
hilarious. I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Nick, back what you were saying, how you, like in the last year you didn't really feel like you had the energy for this and kind of wanted to give yourself some space on it. And I think, your work is art. It's not your job, it's your hobby. It's what brings you joy, right? Like extra. And I think it's good to give yourself time and space with it because doing art, it can be so therapeutic and so wonderful, but it does take a lot out of you at times. So, it's good for you. And I applaud you that you had the wherewithal to be like, you know what, I need to take a little step back and just take a break from it because it can be really, draining if you're trying to put stuff into it and you really just need a break.
Absolutely, yeah. I think my girlfriend also needed a break as well because it felt like she was surrounded by like dinosaurs all the time. So these guys all went into like a big case for a while, and then it's like,
yeah, we have the same problem. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's what happens when you're married.
Yeah.
So can you? This is a hard question. I bet you probably can't answer it, but do you have like a favorite project or a favorite figure that you've made or a favorite set of figures?
Yes, they're all my big right. There's kind of two that I've been chipping away around in the background, and they're like ways of, like I feel like ways of kind of bringing it together like sets. So the one that there's two. There's the little bird at the top, which is kind of its own thing. I'm gonna try and get like a pterodactyl pilot to fly that. But for now, the one that I'm most happy with is the Humvee. So I have to change everything. So it came in like this. It came in a really good desert, which like is probably better than it looks now. But I was like, I need it woodland, so I had to change it to a woodland one.
Sure.
Like I have to adapt it so it's more like animatable. So I add things like lights and bits and pieces to it, so it like kind of like creates a bit more atmosphere. Hold on.
Oh
wow.
Very cool.
Good job. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that, guys.
Yeah. Well, and when you're doing the photos and the videos, you want it to be as realistic as possible. I love it.
Absolutely, yeah. Anything that can like move or light up or like do something just makes it like.
Oh, very cool.
Oh wow. Battery power. That's awesome. Love it. So what's your next project or what you're working on? Like what's your next short that you've come up with and that you want to produce?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of tests with the lizards and like really specifically like looking at the guns, what the guns are, the sounds of the guns, what the sound of the shells would look like, and kind of creating this library for them all. So I want to do a bit more of the lizards shooting the guns. I got quite far with it, but it can become very complicated very quickly, and especially with the stop frame, that it's just like logistically for me to kind of make all the like the muzzle flashes and stuff. I have to kind of like think about a way of doing it. But that's for me the main bit. So
it takes a lot of time and dedication to build a library of sounds to use on shorts with dinosaur figures. I mean that's a big deal. Clearly you have a passion for it.
Yeah, well, I'm looking to kind of create a world. So yeah, every time I go on holiday, I'm collecting bits that can be components of this lizard world, and like sounds and stuff that can work on it, like sonically and stuff. So
that's the best.
That's fantastic.
So I would like for you to think, Nick, you're talking to someone who just wants to get started in this. They have an idea. They just bought, maybe a mint in box figure, and they're like, I kind of want to make this thing my own. What advice would you give them to someone who's like just starting out, kit bashing, making their own, art with these things?
Well, I think like the amount of things that like I've broken along the way, you just gotta go for it, and like the amount of times that I think like you're trying to put these like really expensive pieces that take quite a bit of looking for, and then you kind of like, should I smash it? Should I go for it? Should I try and like make it better? And like 10 times you make it worse, and then like one time you make it better, but then the one time it makes it better, it kind of makes it all right. I don't know. So I'd say just go for it. Who dares wins. Like just but it's a huge rabbit hole. I don't know.
You got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
I think that's the best. Should I break it? Should I smash it? You should.
Do it. Smash it.
Try it. smash it. It'll be better.
Well, it's like with the little bird. I got the little bird. I think it came from like California or something like that. So it took me like 6 weeks to track this like little bird through the post, and I'm getting so excited about it by the time it comes in, and then it comes there, and I'm like, should I like because I converted it so the back like rotor spins and the top rotor spins and it's got lights in it and stuff.
That's awesome.
At the time, I'm like, should I smash it open? And like, of course you should. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, because you're gonna be able to put it back together somehow. It all
Yeah.
like I don't know, and then sometimes it's better, and half the guns that I broke and put back together end up better and unique, one of a kind, I suppose.
Whenever I buy things and I do my creative process, I always buy them in multiples. That way I can have one to work with and then one to keep stock.
That's super smart. That's super.
Yeah.
Or one to smash. One to work with and
Or
one
one
to smash.
to smash. That's right.
Have you ever collaborated with another artist or on a figure or a project, or is that something you'd like to do in the future?
Yeah, I mean, well, with this project, I got to work with like a lot of my friends, like John T and Paul. They helped me with like the logos and stuff like that. So like we did like a couple of like runs of t-shirts and some like different designs of like flips on like the Paranoia Patagonia label.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the UFO and
Paranoia.
stuff.
Oh, I love it.
And then other bits. Yeah, I would do. I think that like at the moment I'm trying to do everything myself, just because it's kind of like I don't know. I love it all. The kind of making the sounds, doing everything, doing the like little bits of illustration for it, putting it all together. But I'm definitely open to working together with people.
Yeah. So it sounds like you actually have friends that are into this as well.
No, not at all. No. It's like my coming out of the closet thing. Like it's only like a lot of people don't know that like I'm into all this stuff, and I don't know how it happens, but I've got like I'm a 43-year-old man with like a lot of dinosaurs, like an army of them. And, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, I don't know anyone like me. I don't know anyone that's doing anything like it. It was only like seeing YouTube and seeing like people like yourselves that I'm
Yeah,
like,
I was
okay,
gonna say,
wow, I'm maybe not alone here.
You're
So,
not alone. Brian is just like that. Brian is just like that.
I came out of the action figure closet a long
A
time
long
ago.
time ago.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
that's
glad
so
you
funny.
did because I'm really enjoying the content.
Very, very good. That's great. We're trying for sure.
Brian, did you want to
So,
ask about the patches?
yeah, I was going to ask about the logo. So I saw you have a patch on most of your action figures, and it's a custom patch. And is that your logo?
Yeah, that's the the Mark 1 logo my friend Paul made for me. Like this one here. It's actually woven.
Oh, wow.
So
Did a good job.
yeah, I was playing around with kind of there's a company, Dutch Woven Labels or something, and we were kind of I wanted to play around to see how small the woven labels could get before they like break up and become too low res or whatever. Let me stuff we've got, yeah, like this one. So yeah, this
It's
is
fantastic.
just a little
That's
one here.
awesome.
I could utilize some of those.
Oh well, I'm gonna get a new batch too, and I'll send you some through for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I should try my hand at a dinosaur figure. I think that's a really good idea, and I think I'd never seen anything like it before until I came across your page.
Well, I'll have to send you a head through or something like that. So that'll be
Yeah, man.
that'll be
I would love
honest.
love to make something. That'd be super cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like your figures are fantastic. I've really enjoyed like looking at them all, and it's very, very. It really has made like a huge influence on all these things. And I mean, like in trying to kind of level these guys up, you would be one of the main reference points for this project. Like looking a
Awesome.
lot better.
That's so cool, dude. That's fantastic. So, go ahead, Jen. So do we want to wrap this up with the rapid fire stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to ask him the fun questions?
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, and this is something we do with every artist, and what we want to do is ask you a series of questions, and it's just going to be rapid fire, so I'll ask and you answer, and it's just to give people the opportunity to get to know you better and get to know your personality. Okay? So, here are the questions. Number 1, what's your favorite movie?
Apocalypse Now.
Oh, that was good. Number 2, what is your favorite holiday?
Me and my girlfriend cycled from Munich to Venice 2 years ago, hands down, best holiday ever. And
Awesome.
at the end of it, we went through like all the Italian, like all the people that make all the Navy SEALs boots, like a solo and all that
Right.
stuff. So at the end of it, we were kind of going to all the factory stores there, and I was like, oh, then the AKU factory as well. So I was like, somehow managed to make it like dinosaur research related.
There you go,
There you
man.
go.
But yeah.
It's all a write-off.
Yeah.
Number 3, Deadpool or Wolverine?
Deadpool, but I don't have particularly strong feelings, but Deadpool.
Okay. Number 4, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Sniper.
So when you were young.
Sniper.
Sniper.
A sniper.
Ooh. There you go.
That's awesome. Number 5, what profession or job would you never want to do?
Wedding photographer, event photographer.
That's what I used to do.
Oh, sorry.
I love it.
I know. I don't do it anymore.
She doesn't do it anymore.
I don't do it anymore.
All right. So number 6, Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
PS5?
I wish. PS4.
I wish.
One day.
You can get them soon. You can get them soon. All right. Number 7, if you were a menu item at a restaurant, what would your entree be called?
Salt and pepper iguana.
Oh.
Salt and pepper iguana.
Yeah.
That-
Sounds like an awesome
You
name for a
came up with
restaurant.
that so fast. I feel like someone's asked you that question
that.
before.
I pre-read your questions. I already do. I've been doing my homework.
All right. Number 8, what's your favorite curse word?
Cum goblin.
That was quick too. All right. Number 9, do you have a zombie apocalypse escape plan?
Absolutely.
You're not gonna tell anybody what it is
No,
either.
don't tell anybody. Don't share it.
No, bug out bag right here.
Oh, there you go. He's prepared.
Perfect. Number 10, sum up what you do in 3 words.
Chase the dragon.
Chase the dragon.
I
Perfect.
love it.
Wow, man. That's excellent. Well, I think we got a lot of good questions answered, and we got to learn more about what you do. And if people want to search you out and find your content, where should they go?
At the moment, lizardforce.com is the place to go. It's a little bit slow because
Lizardforce.com.
everything's quite high res, and I've not figured that out. But yeah, I think that's the best place to see my work, and then Instagram as well to find out.
What's your Instagram handle? We'll put it in the notes, but what's your Instagram
I
handle?
think it's lizardforce. Lizard_force, I think.
That's what it is.
That's what it
That's
is.
what it is. Yep. There you go.
Yep,
Right there.
we got it. Perfect. Well, that's excellent, and I think we're right on the marker for
Yeah.
time.
Thank you
So
so
that's
much,
good.
Nick. Thank you. Is there
Awesome.
anything else you wanna say to us, to the listeners?
Well, yeah, I just want to say thank you for all the nice videos you've been doing, and it really has helped. And it's like there's
That's awesome.
I mean, it's such a niche thing that
Yep.
I'm looking for all these ways to fix problems of just shit that I've broken or whatever, and I just started to see the bits that you guys are putting together, and the little 3D parts that you sell, and the way that you're looking to make a good product better. It's great. Yeah.
Awesome.
So shout out to you.
Thank you very, very much. We appreciate that. We have a lot of good content coming, a lot of good announcements coming very, very soon as well. So stay tuned to our channel.
I certainly will.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. It's been, so fun seeing the dinosaurs even more up close right here and getting to know you a little bit.
Well, thank you. It's been an honor. So.
Thanks for listening. If you like this episode, please share the show. Share it on your social media and share it with your friends. We don't really care how you share it, just share the show. Until next time.